my God. So today, with Makeup with Stephanie, we're doing the candy stick, which is craptastic, and I don't know, I'm just using it because I want to get rid of it. But tomorrow, we're having a...
What a ringing endorsement.
Yeah, I know. It's right, they don't like my noise. No, they might. It's okay, but it leaves it like... I don't know, it's weird. And then it's super salty if you lick it. I feel like my sodium levels are like skyrocketing. Kind of with high blood pressure or something. But on our contest giveaway, we're doing... What are we doing? How many chapsticks or lipsticks are in my purse?
How many lipsticks are in Stephanie's purse?
But lipstick, I have lipstick, chapstick, and lip gloss. So do we need to... Like, what do we say? How do we word that? Like lip makeup? It's kind of weird.
You're asking me to define...
Yeah, because sometimes you're kind of smart with, like, wordage. I'm just kidding.
I know absolutely nothing about that stuff.
So, yeah, stay tuned. I mean, they haven't even all been highlighted on Makeup with Stephanie, so better get your numbers guessing, right, or something.
6 gazillion.
No, only like 5 probably.
The Funky Fly guitar music that comes on every day at 5 o'clock. Live at Five or something like that. Maybe I can talk on. We're coming to you live on IE Newswire on YouTube and Facebook. It is a Wicked Wednesday. Well, you're standing on the gas today. You weren't late on the tree.
On the tree?
Yes. Remember?
Oh, we got the light tree.
Oh,
the
well,
Christmas tree.
Wow, you dinged in that. That dinged in pretty good. Yes, the Christmas tree that's at the drag races that you cannot attend right now because of the stupid lockdown.
Well, would they have them right now anyways?
We got some good news all across the board coming on that. I just want to do that because we did have a little situation that I want to deal with on that. Right after the show in the comments on IE Newswire on there, somebody had kind of an unusual post like, well, I'm picking up my kids from Valley View, which was kind of weird, but then they put in there, I'm going to end my life. I'm going to jump off the 215 bridge at Cahelco. So one of the, I think it was a listener down in Hemet, they called Eddie George, he called me. I think that person called, I called, we got a hold of the CHP. They did find a person wandering around out there. They put him into custody, so nothing happened. But just to put it on there, and even though you might, and most of the time these things are not, you never know in that one case where somebody might be out there, be in a state of that. So even though you might want to blow it off or something, take every one of those things seriously. If you see somebody putting a message like that, contact the authorities, and let them know and let them take care of it, because we don't want nobody jumping off a bridge or something on that. So thanks to everybody involved that got the alert out, to the CHP officers that went out there and took care of the situation. We ran all sorts through the gamut today on the news. Man, is it piled up all over the place out here.
All over the place.
All over the place. From good news to bad news. Some of the stuff, Gavin Newsom still keeping your foot on your throat, not wanting to turn loose of opening things up. Trump had some surprising things to say about that, and we'll get into that in a little bit. You'll be a little shocked at my reaction to it.
I doubt that. Maybe,
but people want to put you into boxes or into certain things, and you will find it'll be interesting to see my reaction of one of Trump's comments at the press conference that we just got done listening to.
Ooh.
Of that.
I wonder how you will react.
Yes. We're still in lockdown. Good news, it's busting out all over the place. States, counties are starting to lift the restrictions. It's happening in Southern California. The latest is Orange County is opening their beaches, except for that dingy broad mayor down in Laguna Niguel, who was not going to open up Laguna Niguel Beach, but San Clemente, Manhattan, Huntington, I think are all going to be open this weekend under limited circumstances. Mount Baldy is opening up for skiing, which they better, because there ain't going to be many. If we start having these 90-degree days, there's not going to be much snow left much longer. And
is there even any snow up there?
Yes, there's still snow up there on Mount Baldy and Big Bear.
Are they making it?
Well, they have capabilities of making it too. But when it's 90 degrees, they're not going to make. Yeah,
like,
it'd
be nice weather though to go up there and just stargaze
from all that of all the stuff. The beaches are opening up. Golf courses are opening up. San Bernardino's opening up. San Bernardino County's opening up golf courses.
Are they opening businesses too?
Nobody except Ventura County, which Gavin Newsom was crying crocodile tears about today on his press conference on that. Maybe we should do Saturday. Maybe we should cover the Mount Baldy and the beaches and everything. Go around and show everything that's opening up this weekend on the enchilada, because that's what we got. We got to get that attitude going out there and show people what you see. I mean, anecdotally, I don't know about you, but I've seen it. You're seeing more people. I mean,
you know what? On my way here, I saw a whole family riding bikes down Merino Beach. It was awesome.
Yes.
I mean, that kind of stuff you really didn't see before. I mean, you did see the kids riding to school on their bikes every, occasional, most mornings I would always see them. But seeing families out riding their bikes, kids playing at parks. I saw kids riding their bikes and scooters. It was nice.
Again, like I say, there's all sorts of this. I'm mostly proud, and I know that I've said this before. There's no... I'm going to say this. No people that'll just get down, get into it, get after it, and when you're down for the count that you can count on are the people in racing.
What are you talking about? How's this going back to racing?
Have the pictures ready of those in the email of the event that's going on in South Dakota. Not only is there going to be one, but there's going to be 2 races held this Saturday and Sunday in South Dakota, specifically sprint cars and modifieds. My guys are out there. Former NASCAR drivers Kenny Wallace and Ken Schrader are going to be racing at that. Yes, races at Jefferson Park and Raceway Park are still open as planned. Scroll up on the okay, you're getting used to the. Well, no, I wanted to start and read the. There you go. North Sioux City, South Dakota. Racing will still happen at Jefferson Park Speedway and Raceway Park on Saturday and Sunday. Last week, Jefferson Park Speedway started selling tickets for an open wheels national event on Saturday presented by Front Row Challenges Enterprises. All 700 tickets were sold Sunday. Then on Monday, Raceway Park, which is located just north of Sioux City on Interstate 29, right next to Park Jefferson Speedway, started to sell tickets for the IMCA modified event planned Sunday night. 500 tickets were put on sale as 4 p.m. Tuesday. Less than 100 tickets were still available. They're going to practice, they've got 4,000, 5,000 capacity. They're going to practice social deadlines. They limited it to 32 that. But there should be another link in there, too, to one of the other ones in there. It's got a picture of Kenny Schrader. Kenny Schrader and Kenny Wallace are going to be at the one, I think, on Sunday. They're going to be racing their IMCA modifieds at that race on that. It's about time. Even the governor, which South Dakota has never put on a lockdown of any kind or any mandate statewide, she's saying, well, I'd rather they not do it, but I'm not telling you. There's Ken Schrader on that. Scroll up on the picture that he will be racing his modified on there. Yeah, just keep on rolling. I think it's towards the bottom is what I'm looking for. Down on the print, there you go. Track owner Adam Adams said public statements in the event will allow social distancing and safety precautions will be practiced adequately. Tickets will be pre-sold, concessions will be purchased via credit card, and 10-person clubhouse will be closed. We intend to go overboard following CDC guidelines, Adamson said. We are just a small track in rural South Dakota trying to give some entertainment and a little bit of break from some of this madness that's going on right now. We think we can do so in a safe environment. There you go. Even with all the stuff of that, let's try a few of these like this. Let's try opening it up. Let's see what happens. Okay, we don't have to have, okay, if this works out, then we can maybe start ratcheting it up, and maybe to the point by the by the summer, maybe we can get to concerts, football, baseball, basketball, NASCAR racing, and everybody else, Indy 500, up to full crowds, back to real, not normal operations, just the way they're supposed to be. We should not be talking about normal operations. We should be talking about operations the way they are supposed to be. That's why I'm most proud, and it took it to the racing community, like Bill Bader Jr. that we had on, that we ran the video of at the beginning of the week, who's opening up his drag strip in Ohio, mainly because he said, I'm going broke, my employees are starving to death, we got to do something. Again, we got to figure this out. We can't just sit here parked in, sitting on our rear ends doing nothing all this time. It's stupid. It's unnecessary. All the tests and stuff that are coming out up and down the line of this stuff does not warrant that you treating the United States of America like the hellhole New York City is.
So are we going to South Dakota?
Yes.
Okay. It's my race car.
There
That's
you
horrible.
go. You're we'll have to
race
work
car with an antenna.
Oh,
yeah, that's
with
horrible.
the antenna on. Why?
I need to get on my drawing skills. If I wasn't rushed, I think we should play Pictionary.
There you go.
This is what it makes me.
No, all of this. I mean, what do you think
about?
Oh, all of it. We need to.
I
agree.
Agree.
Need to start rolling this stuff out.
Like I said today. I mean, we walked, parked at the park by my children's school, walked over, got their lunch, walked back to the park. We're playing Frisbee. It's all fun. We see a cop roll by. My kids are freaking out. Like, oh my God, we're going to go to jail. Let's hurry up and go. Like that.
Yeah, they got the kids scared to death.
Yeah.
That's fear. That's how they control you, is with this fear. They get the kids scared to death that if they play in the park, they're going to get arrested by the cops.
Well, because they know that they're supposed to be, inside. And
well, no, the cops at least, and they got, like...
The cops didn't do anything. I mean, they just drove by. I think they appreciated seeing kids out at the park playing. I mean, you really don't see that before too much, but... I think it's great that they're going to try opening up the track. I'm curious to see how it goes. I think they'll follow the guidelines and be safe and take precautions, but I don't know.
Yes. There is no reason to be keeping this a total lockdown.
You're outside. So it's like you go to the grocery store, you're stuck inside with the air conditioning recircling the air. Why don't we go outside and have a little fun? Watch some stuff get smashed, watch some people race, have some great food.
Yes.
Watch people get smashed. I mean, it sounds like fun to me.
Yes.
Too bad it's not like in California.
Have the story about the Idaho woman on there. Now, this is stark contrast to all of you, Dwayne from Idaho, that moved up there telling me how great it is and yada, yada, yada. In Idaho,
a
woman put on Craigslist, I'm going to have a yard sale. So they said, well, no, you can't social distance, yada,
she
yada,
have
yada.
A yard sale?
Yeah, she could. So they said no. That. So she went defiantly anyway. That says coronavirus. Yes. So roll up this in the Idaho statement. Statesman. Yes. A northern Idaho woman could face jail time after police said a yard sale which violated the state stay-at-home order during the coronavirus pandemic. Police issued a citation Friday to a homeowner who they said was having a yard sale over the past week. Random Police Department said in a news release on Facebook. The yard sale was not considered an essential business as part of Idaho's stay-at-home policy, police said. Violating the stay-at-home order in Idaho is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 6 months in custody in jail or a $1,000 fine or both, the Idaho Statesman reported. For crying out loud. Up in northern Idaho, you're telling you can't have a yard sale, for crying out loud. The cops up there are citing someone for having a yard sale of that.
That's crazy.
Stupid. That is complete.
I wonder what would happen if you did that here in California.
Oh, for pray tell. All the little bitty bodies with their little 3x5 phones out there. We're going to take a picture of you. Oh, you're having a yard sale. You're going to kill my mom. And stop it. It it's you that's going to kill us all by being paralyzed by fear. No longer that. Gavin Newsom said, oh, well, maybe we'll open the hospitals up to do elective surgeries and stuff. Yeah, maybe if you got melanoma or something on your skin or something and you ain't been able to take it off, and maybe how many people are going to die over this stuff because they ain't been able to go to the hospital?
No, I know someone that needs to get a stent put in before she has a heart attack, and that is considered a elective surgery.
Yes.
Crazy.
It's
going back
stupid.
to the yard sale. If anyone wants to purchase, go ahead and DM me, and we'll set up payment plans too. $10.
Yeah, you probably have to
$10.
do that, right? You're lucky. Yeah, to get $10, you'd probably have to do a payment plan because nobody's going to pay that much for me.
Hey, I'm just saying.
No, there's the absolute stupidity.
No refunds either.
Up in northern Idaho, where there's probably more freaking potatoes and cows than there are people, and the cops are up there busting some poor lady for having a yard sale. This is how freaking insane we are of that, up and down the line of that. I can't. That's what I say of the stuff that of the stuff that's going on. I mean, I applaud Governor Brian Kemp. He's opening up his state. Barbershops, massage parlors, hardware stores.
Who is?
Brad Kemp, the governor of Georgia.
Oh, I knew that.
And that's what brings me to the a little bit. Maybe we'll pick it up a little bit with Susan Shelley. Trump said, I'm not red hot on Brian Kemp opening up his state because of the Phase 1 guidelines and stuff. You know what? Trump, if you had, stand up and stop the ban. Tell them yo-hos in there to shove their stupid Phase 1, 2, and 3 stuff right up their rear end. And again, let the governors do their job. Let Cuomo lock down New York City, however. You should be. President Trump, please support Ron DeSantis, Greg Abbott, Brian Kemp of Georgia. You ought to fly Air Force One and the whole crew out there.
She said she'd take you.
The whole crew out there to Sioux City, South Dakota, and attend both races this weekend on top of the deal. That's what you should be doing out there, not questioning opening up or the guidelines or CDC, which have been totally wrong most of this stuff anyway. So screw that stuff. Get this. If we got to get this stuff opened up fast, and do there. I guess somebody's ringling ding 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 on the telephone. Yeah.
Hello?
Yes. Go ahead.
Oh, I wanted to ask you. I see that San Bernardino and Riverside had to give up on letting people at drive-ins have their church. But every weekend I sit there and watch everybody come to all the different where I have coffee in the morning, and everybody's sitting in their cars, eating their food, drinking their coffee and everything, and the whole parking lots. But I guess that's a different park if you're parking in a parking lot eating your food or going to drive-in and doing your religion.
Yes.
I mean, what's the difference? A parking lot's a parking lot if you're eating food or talking God.
There you go. Or a drive-in theater. Why aren't the drive-in theaters open?
That's what I'm talking about. Drive-in theaters and parking. Well, in parking lots, there were a couple religion places want to do it in their parking lots. They said no. Anti-religion, California.
Yes, of everything. We're anti-everything. They're going to control. They want to control every aspect of your. You'd see like Newsom. He does not. Cuomo up in New York. They're seizing on this power like you can't believe.
Well,
and they know they got everybody locked down and all this stuff. That's what I'm saying. You cities and counties and sheriffs, like the sheriff in Sioux City, South Dakota, even the governor, which has not put a ban on saying, well, I wish they really wouldn't do that, but I'm not going to say that. The track owner up there in Sioux City, South Dakota, went and talked to the sheriff. Sheriff said, fine, as long as you're doing the CDC guidelines, I ain't got no problem with it. They had 4 sheriffs up in Michigan, with the draconian measures up there. They said, screw that. We're going to defend you. We're not arresting nobody on that. It's about time that we all start saying not no, but hell no to this stuff. 1,300 deaths in California out of 40 million people is no reason to lock down a state, and it's not because of your stupid mask or your social distancing and anything else. And hopefully we'll have Kelly Victory on here tomorrow again, and she will tell you this whole mask thing and all this stuff is a bunch of BS.
Well, the second thing I want to talk about is renting all the Motel 8s and 6s and whatever all they're doing. Now, 2 or 3 things I want to ask. Who's going to change all the linen like they're supposed to? Do all the cleaning inside the room with the homeless? And after you let them have a free life estate to stay there, how can you throw them out? Because you're not charging money, so you can't throw them out for lack of payment. How are you going to get them out? Once they're in there, they basically have a life estate. Well, let's see what Newsom and all the lawyers and all the smart people are going to do about that.
Oh, I'll tell you what they're going to do about that. Go look inside of your wallet, because they're going to grab the money out of your wallet to pay for it.
Yeah, but how are the people who's going to clean the linens? Who's going to go do all that? Who's going to go in and sanitize the beds and all that stuff? Is the state going to be responsible for people going in and getting sick from the people that are already in there? What's going on here? This is something I want to see. How once you give somebody a free, because they pay no money, so you have a contract, they've free for free. How can you kick them out because they didn't violate a payment? So this is how under contract law. How does that work? I'm not a contract or a lawyer of any kind. I'm just asking the question. How it goes. When you're in business, if you don't collect your money or you don't have a contract for X amount, you got to work for free. Well, that's bull. A contract's a contract, and that is a contractor. Let them live in there for free. Now, how do you evict somebody that don't have to pay? You evict people because of lack of payment.
Yeah, no, we're going to wind up owning them all.
That's what I say.
We're going to buy all 10,000 Motel 6s on the whole deal on the.
Well, that ain't bad enough. Did you see that one? What is it? One of the real big chains down there, and what is it? One of the beach cities that they took over the whole thing, right next door to where all the seniors live and everything. Real fancy, like a Holiday or any other ones. The big names. They took everybody out and put them and let them all go in this great fancy hotel.
Mark writes in, I agree with him on the hotels and motels. Why don't they open up empty industrials? There we go. If I can speak.
Well, it's just like say, who's going to pay to clean them? Who's going to buy the linens? Who's going to do all this stuff? When you rent a hotel, you rent all that service. Or motel.
I told you, you'd go look inside your wallet.
Yeah.
You just hand it over to Newsom and say, please don't hurt me anymore. On that. That's what if you're going to accept this, the majority of the people are going to keep accepting this and electing these stupid ding-dongs across the board. This is what you're going to get. You're going to get increasingly less. You want Newsom telling you when you can go to the doctor, when you can drive your car, when you can go to the store, how you can do it, how you can trim your toenails and everything else.
You got it. I want it, but sometime when you get one of your lawyers on there, ask them how you can give somebody a free life estate. Basically, that's what you're doing, giving a free life estate in a room that you charge no money. Once you let them in there, that's a contract. Well, I'll let you go and think that one out.
There you go. No, it's a great point of all this stuff. Back and forth. Oh, go look in the IEN message. I think it's in the IEN message. Shopping as you know it is going to be over.
What?
Yes.
Why?
It was on CNN yesterday. It was on they posted the article in there on that. Experts say it may be time for grocery stores to ban customers from coming inside because of COVID.
Shut up.
Roll up on the article. New York, CNN Business. Dozens of grocery store workers have died from coronavirus despite masks, temperature checks, capacity restrictions to keep them safe. So far, supermarkets have resisted the most draconian policy, banning customers coming inside. So workers, this is what all y'all that tout the union label and the union leaders and all you public employees that are part of this unions and public employee unions. However, some worker experts, union leaders, and small grocery store owners believe it's too dangerous to let customers browse aisles coming into close range with workers. Grocery stores are still flooded with customers, and experts say it's time for a change. Large change to go dark for the public and convert curbside pickup to home delivery for food and essential goods. Scroll up a little bit on the deal. Anything that reduces the need for interaction with the public and allows for greater physical distancing will ultimately be better protect workers. John Logan, professor and director of labor employment studies of San Francisco State University, shuttering stores and thus repurposing them for pickup and delivery would only be a positive step. Roll up a little bit on there. I want to get to the keep going. It was clear that there's no real way to protect my staff and the served 800 people. Plus, I'm unwilling to put grocery store employees through that risk of a fatal infection. Keep rolling up. Some large companies like Best Buy, which are strong on line crisis of that, keep rolling on that. There's the U.S. Department of Regulations, but city and state government. Okay. Some companies and safety experts say it is not feasible to convert all grocery stores delivery and pickup only outposts. Ordering systems for both pickup and delivery are completely overwhelmed by the crushing demand for many areas. We have no choice. They have to stay open. Americans' grocery delivery system has not matured to the point where we can switch entirely to a remote system. Seth Harris, former Deputy Secretary of Labor during the Obama administration. Online pickup and delivery requires a much larger staff. The grocery stores are currently equipped with that could fill supermarkets' capacity with workers, defeating the purpose of removing from public stores. Paying that many workers would also cost grocers a lot more money, and many smaller chains don't have the resources. They have already done that. You know what? Grocery prices are going up. You will not be able to go to the store. They are figuring out multiple ways to hose you. Like I said, with this whole thing, you keep letting this happen, bend over and grab your ankles because you know what's coming next.
Right. Anne wants us to give a shout out to Doris for being a frequent listener. Thank you, Doris, for supporting us, as well as Anne.
Thanks for buying
and
me
Lucy.
for $10 so I know what I'm worth, Doris.
Family discount. You get them for free.
Of that, yes, this is what's happening. You gonna put up with this crap? We should be out there with pitchforks and torches removing. You should be at the state capitol, which Gavin Newsom banned. They had a rally up there Monday. Oh, well, we can't have that anymore. Look for the one in there with the rally on that, with the picture of Sacramento Bee Store.
Please.
Yeah, they had a rally up there with that. So people were walking around the mass. They went and did that, went with the sheriff of that, and he okayed it. Now, or CHP okayed it. Now they're backtracking, yada, 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 don't want protests. You should be up there, starting with Newsom, demanding that he resigns tomorrow. If not, we're recalling your rear end. And everybody else, every public official that's not opening this stuff up, we should be out there. If you haven't opened it up by April 30th, we are filing the paperwork to recall you, and we will be on your hiney until you are out of office. That's where we need to go with this.
Mark writes in, how am I going to get my milk?
You're going to pay more for it.
You know,
You're going to have to
just
do
go
it
buy the cow and do it yourself.
Yes.
It'd be easier that way.
Let's turn Moreno Valley back in the whole Inland Empire, which it used to be, into an agricultural.
I'm gonna become a vegetarian. It's just what's gonna happen. And stay tuned for maybe the end of the show, and we will go over some details for our coming up giveaway with our Chili's gift cards. Thank you to the Chili's manager, Jason, for hooking us up with some gift cards to give away to our awesome listeners.
Yes, we
How wired are you on IE Newswire? And we also have a couple of shout outs and highlights that we're going to do at the end of our show.
Wow.
I nailed it.
That will be coming, yes.
Crushed it.
Crushed it.
So that's how it's done.
I'll take notes.
Yeah.
Thank you for the
You're welcome.
instruction.
That's right. The student has now become the teacher.
Well,
Just
see,
kidding.
no, it's a good
Not
thing
even close.
because now you have to teach your kids because, you know what? They ain't going back to school either.
Wow. Low blow, dude. Low blow. And I was not meant to be a teacher. Definitely not TK first, second, or third.
1 minute.
Hey, Sean.
We got 1 minute there, Sean.
Hey, guys.
He's going to put us on the airwaves all across the Inland Empire on the Mighty Met 1490 coming up, too. And we'll have a Susan Shelley coming on right after the bottom of the hour, and we hook all this stuff up because there's nowhere else you will get all the news and that of that. So do you believe all when are you having a little more faith in me now that
Why the hell would I do that?
30
stuff
seconds.
was coming?
You know what? I'm not going to say anything. No comment. I'm
Not even going to write on the whiteboard.
I'm just going to doodle over here. Really, I feel like we should pay a Pictionary for our viewers. Let's get down on some Pictionary.
I knew it was a mistake yesterday when I
Monday.
Monday
guys,
when I handed
here
you
we
the
go.
whiteboard.
Why?
MET1490am.com and download your free phone app today. IE Newswire Daily is on the air.
The following is a paid program. Views and claims expressed are those of the program producer and are not endorsed by this station. Opinions expressed not necessarily those of
That funky slide guitar music that comes on every Monday through Friday all over the Inland Empire on the Mighty Met 1490 KMET on a
Wicked Wednesday!
Man, you're right on the gas today. Hit it 2 for 2.
Thanks,
On
baby
that.
bro.
We're Stephanie the artist is working on her whiteboard.
I decided to do a little Pictionary
Pictionary.
for those that, hang on,
So what is the Pictionary?
they need to comment in and guess what my doodle is. It kind of goes with Mark's comment.
Is that a milking cow?
Boy, I said they need to comment in. Shut up. You're not playing. You're sitting next to me.
Well, I
Anyways,
reckon-
coming up on Friday, we're going to do another giveaway for our $5 Chili's gift cards. We're going to have 2 trivia questions again. How wired are you on IE Newswire? So stay tuned for those. And keep a lookout for some maybe answers to the questions we might have coming up on Friday's show.
Wow.
Yep.
That was pretty enthusiastic.
I know.
With
I'm
lots
excited.
of vim and vigor.
I'm excited. I
Wow.
love giveaways. Giveaways are like my thing. And Pictionary. Drawing is not. But hey, at least you got it. No one else got to guess. I don't think anyone else is really watching anyways, so it's okay. Anyways.
Wow. We'll have Susan Shelley coming on here in a second of that. Just to run down a couple of highlights of the news today. Breaking out, not only is there going to be 1 but 2 races this weekend in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. On that, former NASCAR stars Kenny Schrader and Kenny Wallace will be there. Sprint cars and midgets will be running Saturday and Sunday. Breaking out all across. San Bernardino is the latest, opening up the parks and the golf courses. Mount Baldy is now open. Beaches all across Orange County are opened up, except for that Dingy Broad in Laguna Niguel.
Stop calling her that.
Who's
The silly lady. We'll go with that.
who's still locking down Laguna Niguel, but San Clemente, I think Huntington, Manhattan Beach will be opened up on that this weekend on that. All across the board, it's starting to bust open. Georgia is cranking her up. Texas, Florida, all across the board. Gavin Newsom still got his foot on your throat saying that. Well, he is maybe if you ask really nice, you might be able to go to the hospital now. But ask him when he's going to open up the state, when I say so, and that's basically probably the 12th of never. He's drunk on power like Cuomo is. I was a little bit disturbed with something that Trump said. But we'll get into all that with our guest, who is the editorial writer for the Press Enterprise, San Bernardino Sun, Redlands Daily Facts, Inland Daily Bulletin, Orange County Register, and a whole bunch of newspapers more across the Southern California area, but more important in my mind, Vice President of the Howard Jarvis Taxpayers Association, Susan Shelley. Welcome back to the show with Stephanie and Roy.
Great to be with you.
Hi, Susan.
Hi, Stephanie.
So you heard that little rendition that I went through of the good and the bad and the ugly of something. What do you say?
Well, I think it's going to crack this weekend because it's going to be hot. And there's no way they're going to keep people in their houses and apartments when it's hot. And there's no reason to keep people off the beaches. This is it's been an overreaction from the very beginning. And it's just not warranted to keep people locked up. And if they want to have riots, they can try to do it, but we're going to end up with Kent State if anyone makes a mistake, and that would be a horrible tragedy. So this is the right direction. People are pushing, and the local governments are feeling the heat, so to speak, and things will open. And we have to do that. We can't stay locked up forever. So we have to find a safe way to open the state.
Precisely. The couple more news items I want to get to I didn't get to in the first half hour. The first death of coronavirus now is not late February in Washington. It is now February 6th in Santa Clara County, California. They did an autopsy on a formerly living person on that, and they now know that it is confirmed 2 cases of that. So all this stuff that was going on in people, the unknown virus or the unknown flu that was going around in December and January that they couldn't pinpoint and they didn't know what was going on and yada, yada, yada all through California. Mm-hmm. The USC study that came out, the death rate, 2 to 400,000 in LA County, not 13,000 cases have probably already had this stuff. The death rate is like 1 or 0.2%, not 5% or whatever stupid number they want. To justify this lockdown of California on 1,300 deaths, which we knew was going on, and they didn't do the right policies of this. Why weren't they doing hospitals? Okay, Trump built 2,500 hospitals at the Javits Center in New York. Why didn't you build hospitals specifically for COVID, coronavirus? Okay, you got the symptoms. You go over there. Do like Brian Kemp did in Georgia. Put the National Guard in to go into the nursing homes and make everything's cleaned up, running and isolated and stuff like that. Not run around like you're an idiot locking everything down, trying to kill the economy and cause worse damage. Susan.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. The people who support these lockdowns always make the argument, well, what would you have done? Nothing? Well, nothing was never the only option. We could have done reasonable precautions for the general population and extreme protection for the vulnerable population with support so that people weren't in their homes with no way to get food and all the other necessities of life. We would have had the manpower to provide support for people if not everyone was locked up. But this has been crazy, and it's going to wipe out so many small businesses in California and so many homeowners. And it's so painful to watch these economic numbers roll in like a tsunami. The Los Angeles Economic Development Corporation just released its projection of unemployment in Southern California for May, 31.7%. 31.7%. If we keep doing what we're doing, we're going to knock Herbert Hoover out of the record books. And that is quite an accomplishment for Gavin Newsom, to have supplanted Herbert Hoover and the Great Depression of the 1930s right out of the record books with a month of his policy in California. It did not have to be like this. I mean, it's been tough all over the country, but it's worse in California because we locked down more things and earlier. And they think they saved lives, but I'm not at all sure that that's accurate because, as you said, this virus was here earlier. Many more people have had it than have been counted as having it. The percentages are way different. The models are all wrong. And this has to be accounted for, and it will be. It will be because there's 40 million people in this state, and a number of them can do math. So there's going to be a lot of second-guessing, oversight, reviewing, auditing, and intense scrutiny of every part of this. And, of course, the state government is going to try to lock up the records and keep people from doing public records requests and try to keep the courts closed so no one can file anything and try to pretend that Gavin Newsom has the power to keep businesses from reopening. But truthfully, he doesn't. And if it goes to court, they're not going to be able to argue that they have the basis for a permanent emergency. And even the federal government is getting involved and talking about the Commerce Clause and our national economy, and not having these extreme rules in place in some of the states. It can't go on forever, and it won't go on forever. And I hope that people are able to withstand this brutality, and that the businesses can survive. I really fear for the restaurants, because they are going to be the last to be allowed to operate. The social distancing requirements that Gavin Newsom has proposed, where restaurants can have nobody at the bar, where the profits are, and only half as many people in the restaurant, well, that's just a recipe for starvation right there. The whole industry is going to just collapse. And that would be tragic, not only for the restaurant owners themselves, but for the whole state, because one of the things that makes California a tourist attraction and a singular place to visit is the wonderful culture of food and wine throughout this state. The chef-owned restaurants, the specialty family-owned restaurants, all up and down the state. People have a connection to restaurants that mean something to them in different locations at different times in their lives. That's part of the culture of the state, and it's all going to go away. And we're only going to have corporate-owned restaurants with lobbyists in Washington who can get them a bailout so they can withstand this, and that's all there's going to be. And that would be a tragedy.
You know what, Frank writes in, and it's a little off subject, but I think it's a great point. The perfect storm if Edison shuts down the power because of the alleged, quote, fire risk, unquote. What would happen if they shut down power while we're all locked up? Then what?
That would be
That'd be horrible.
fatality is what that would be.
Yeah.
Especially, if they shut off the power in the summertime and people are locked in their homes. And, by the way, you don't want to sleep with your windows open because they've opened the jails and let the criminals out. So it's really a recipe for disaster. Up one side, down the other.
At the Trump press conference today, I don't know if you caught it, but he mentioned today, I'm sure you're familiar with Georgia Governor Brian Kemp.
Yes.
He started opening up the state, not only probably the biggest one that I know of. I mean, he, barber shops, that to hardware stores. Man, he's cutting her open. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to disagree with President Trump on this, because he stated at the press conference today that, well, he wasn't going to step in. He disagreed with what Brian Kemp was doing. He's jumping ahead of our step 1, phase 2 or 3 guidelines, and yada, yada. I say not no, but hell no. Brian Kemp, you were protecting your citizens. You were in the nursing homes and protecting them and looking out for them and controlling it where the problem lied. Maybe you're ahead of the curve. Maybe you know your state better than that. And although Trump did say I'm trusting him, but I disagree with it. But I think Brian Kemp of Georgia's on the right track, just like the track owners in Ohio that are opening up the drag strip, the races that are going to go on, the sprint car and modified races that are going to go on Saturday, Sunday in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. It should be, and we're starting to break loose in California. We need to start opening this stuff up quicker. It's been way overblown. Now, on this stuff, admit your models were wrong and you screwed up, but this is how we're going to fix it.
Exactly. They have to talk about a near-term path out of this. Everybody wants to be safe. Everybody's going to be careful. But they cannot have this statewide or nationwide policy of no one can open until everyone can be tested at their front door on the way to work. That's just crazy. And this idea that they're going to train tens of thousands of people to track our movements and who we're with and put this in some kind of a database, well, that's just not going to work. It shouldn't work, and it's not going to work. And it isn't necessary. Because if they had the numbers and the facts and the data then that they have now, that the death rate from this illness is 0.1 or 0.2%, if they had that at the time, they would never have put these policies in place. And if that's the case, they should undo them right now.
Exactly. I mean, again, I would say, they keep saying, well, we did this, and it's because of social distancing policies. And we've had Dr. Kelly Victory on, who's a trauma surgeon, disaster preparedness expert, consultant to major companies like Continental Airlines, Walgreens, and all sorts of stuff. She's even saying she is not a big proponent of this mask, glove things, anything else. Basically wash your hands. This is, this has been her, and she has predicted this stuff almost to a T. It's went through California. We have much more herd immunity than they've been telling you. Everything she has been saying on our show and on her Twitter page has almost been coming through to a T. And this is what drives me crazy. Why isn't she should be the one that's standing next to Gavin Newsom or Donald Trump giving the medical advice, not these ding-dongs that can't admit, you know what, we screwed this stuff up. We didn't see it coming. We blew it. Maybe it's time for somebody else that actually knows what they're doing to step in here and start taking this thing over.
Well, certainly they have to look at the economic numbers. If you put the unemployment numbers and the economic growth numbers on that same time chart that they have their big red lump and their long blue curve, if you put the economic numbers on there, you can see that the further you go, the more people are hurt and possibly killed by the economic damage. You can't just say, well, let's just keep doing what we're doing as if we're not bleeding to death, because that's what's happening. You have here a gunshot victim with a virus, and you're going to say, well, we're going to treat the virus and we're going to ignore all the blood coming out of the artery. You can't do that. You have to treat the patient, and the entire country has to be considered in the consequences of these policies, and they're not doing that. I know the president is trying to do that, but this is politically very difficult because no one who has their name on a ballot wants to be portrayed as killing people, and that's how the campaign's going to go. But you know what? The campaign's going to go that way anyway. They're both going to accuse each other of doing the wrong thing, doing not enough, killing people. We have to do what's right. We can't worry about the politics. We have to do what's rational and what's based on the real data, not the modeled data, but the real data that we now have 4 or 5 weeks into this. This is so unfair to the kids who are out of school, so unfair to the business owners who are losing their life's work and their life savings, so unfair to people who should be coming out of college and looking for work, and now they're in the Great Depression. We were at 4% unemployment, and now we're at 30% unemployment. This is catastrophic.
The Allies, I want to get this, we only got a couple minutes left, but the Allies are coming from places you wouldn't necessarily guess from, and this is going to probably shock a lot of people. We read it earlier in the half hour, but CNN had an article, and now, over COVID-19, you're basically not going to be able to go to the grocery store. It's going to be pick up and delivery because the union heads and all this stuff decided this, and grocery store owners and yada, yada, yada. Two things the article pointed out, experts said it's going to drive the price of groceries up because it's going to be much more expensive. Probably will spread viruses and stuff even worse for all this stuff. And you know who said that? The undersecretary of the Obama administration said, this is totally unfeasible and stupid, my paraphrasing of it.
Yeah. Well, I think everyone can see that there are severe problems with this. And, there will be consequences. There will be changes. And whether those changes are more likely to come from the right or the left is still an open question, because everybody can see that we're going to have rubble and we're going to have to rebuild on top of it. And what we build is going to determine our future. This has been a destructive event, and it has to be repaired. It should be ended so the destruction stops. But after it's ended, we're going to have a long conversation about how we take our freedom back and how we prevent this from being an annual event where the government threatens to shut everything down and crashes the stock market. Because they could, just by saying it. Just by saying, we see there may be a virus coming, we have a computer model, and we're thinking of shutting everything down. People will be in the stores hoarding everything. The stock market will crash again just on the statement. We have to put a hard stop to the possibility that they can even do this again, to give ourselves some financial security and some protection from the threat that this will be a recurring political weapon from people who are in public office. We can't allow that to happen, federal or state.
I will tell them one way they'll get their freedom back is to join the Howard Jarvis Taxpayers Association. Tell them how they do that.
Amen. Join HJTA. It's at hjta.org, and you can join right online. It's only $15 a year, and you will strengthen the voice of taxpayers in California. And it's really important because there's a lot of people who are looking to raise your taxes coming out of this, and we will be fighting every single one of those. So help us fight. Join HJTA at hjta.org.
And it's only $15 a year, and it'd be the best $15 you ever spent in your lifetime on that
Definitely.
whole deal. This computer of mine just keeps going crazy. Every time I touch something, it goes 47 ways of that. Everything except what I wanted to do. But thanks for being on the show, Susan and Shelley. On that, we'll do it again
Thanks,
next week.
Susan.
Bye. Take care.
Bye. I love everything she
I
has
wonder
to say.
why
She always has a great
Eddie
point of view.
George, if you're listening, why would you call me between 5 and 6 while I'm on the radio show?
Because he probably forgot. He's probably just waking up.
Now you're faking out Eddie on that
I am.
stuff.
I'm
But
just kidding.
no, it is. I mean, it's absolutely. I mean, we got to stop this.
We do.
I mean, we're all going to be in. We're all going to be in a pickle
Yeah.
if they don't knock this stuff off on a lot of ways. I mean, just the.
It's like it's becoming. It's like depressing now.
Yes.
I wake up and honestly like, why am I getting out of my pajamas? I really don't know why.
Yes.
And I suck at teaching. Shout out to all the teachers. I don't know how you guys do it, man. I love you.
Did you get it? No,
Oh my
it's getting
goodness.
ridiculous on
It
all
is.
this stuff of
And I'm missing so much life.
yes.
My kids, I can't take them anywhere. We had so many plans during spring break that just went down the drain.
Yeah, everything. Everybody's life's like it's been put on hold. I mean, you can only watch so many I Love Lucy reruns on TV or whatever, or play so many video games before that just gets, totally out of.
I think all the
Yes.
hardcore gamers are
Yes.
severely disagreeing
Yes,
with
you
you.
1/10 of where you gaming addicts over there that are just glued to your computer screens. Yeah, there's a whole new world. There's a whole world. Most
Well,
of
they're
us live-
probably loving it right now.
Yeah, well, they don't even know anything's going on. Like what?
Exactly. Okay, down to 5 minutes. Stay tuned for Friday's show where we're going to be giving away some $5 Chili's gift cards. Shout out to Chili's again. Thank you for the gift cards that we can give away to our amazing followers. So I'll be asking 2 questions again. I don't know how many winners we'll have this time. I'm leaving it kind of open.
Okay.
So tune in Friday's show. That'll be
We
fun.
may have 152 winners. No, not really.
No, we won't. What else do we got? Jess, are you ready for the photos? Okay, go ahead. And I'll just roll them as you throw them up. Or you can. Okay, so shout out to Lucy and her family for their poor little doggy that had to get put down yesterday. I don't like that she's making me do this. Rest in peace to Zeus, who lived from 2012 to 2020. Your family is very sad. Sorry, Jess.
Did you have them from a pup? They have them from a pup, yeah. That was my grandma's daughter. Oh,
Not very old, though.
Well, bigger dogs don't usually make. About 10 years is about, smaller dogs actually, they usually go about 15, but bigger dogs that's not unusual, and they're around in that range for them.
I feel so sad. Now I'm bummed. Anyway, sorry to the Sanchez family for having to put down your precious Zeus. Up next, we have Jen, who sent in her photo. She had this vision, and her husband, Billy, and her son, Travis, put her vision to life. They are located off of JFK and Moreno Beach, just to give you a little bit of hope as you drive by. And shout out to Kensley, who was my son's best friend in TK. She's an adorable little girl.
There you go.
And thank you for doing that. That's a beautiful sign.
Yes, we need to turn this hope into action.
Yes.
We need to get out there and start saying not like it. And I'm really serious about that. We should be demanding Gavin Newsom on down everyone that's not getting this or not standing on the gas or not up there, our local politicians that are not standing with us and saying, heck, I mean, I got to give a shout out to Chad Bianco, Sheriff John McMahon are on there. They're not enforcing these, ridiculous, like they cited up in northern Idaho. They gave a woman a ticket for having a yard sale, punishable by 6 months in jail and $1,000 fine. This is in northern Idaho. They got people running scared, pissed off, don't know what to do, going crazy, and ultimately we're going broke at this whole thing. That is not going. This story's not going to end well if we don't stand up.
We were positive.
We are positive.
And then we felt we were doing our highlights and shout outs.
We're going to turn the hope into a positive. We're going to turn that into action.
So thank you, Jen, and your family, and Kensley. I missed you. We need to catch up one day with Liam. It'll be great. And then our next one is tomorrow is the farmers market located off of.
Oh, the one at City Hall.
Yeah,
at Fredericks and
Alessandro.
At Fredericks and Alessandro over there, and
right
in there around where the Veterans
Roundabout.
Memorial is in the circle is where they do the
8:30 to 1. No, 8 to 1, and then he also has farmer markets on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Downtown is an awesome one.
Yes, Riverside's a good one.
Yeah.
The
Off
best
of
one,
Main
though,
and Fifth.
the most awesome one is the Thursday one at Redlands.
Okay, well, he doesn't do that one. Right. And I
We'll
think
have
the
to
one in
cover that one,
Redlands
too.
was closed
We'll give you
recently.
Redlands
I don't
one.
think I don't know who owns it, but I don't think they're doing it right now. I think they shut that one down.
Did they? Well,
'Cause-
we're going to have to get him to crank it back up.
Well, nobody's
hell
like
with this
Oscar. I
stuff.
mean, Oscar,
Yeah, great for Oscar. He ain't.
Good
he ain't
job,
giving up.
Oscar.
Yes.
thank you for being
There
an
is
awesome
no
farmers market
non-essential
manager.
businesses. There are no non-essential people
not.
or anything else.
Definitely.
So again, they want to do this to conquer and divide, put you in classifications, or determine who. We're going to have to do the obsolete men from the Twilight Zone in June of 1961.
Mark wrote in, sorry I'm leaving early. I need to go register on HJTA. So good for
Yes,
you.
thank you, Mark. Joining
Smart
up,
man.
get more. Expand that from 10. Expand joining HGTA.org exponentially from 1 to 10 to 100 to 1,000 to 10 million Californians.
Exactly.
And we'll take this thing back.
Tune in Friday for our giveaway. How wired are you on Newswire?
Hopefully, we'll have a Dr. Kelly Victory on tomorrow on that. And that we'll have the big giveaway on Friday. So there's a lot to look forward to on this show where we give you the good, bad, and the ugly.
And we play a little Pictionary.
Yes.
Roy ruins it by guessing.
You get to see not only makeup with Stephanie, but artists by Stephanie.
Ooh.
That
Wow, why are you doing this?
we're done.
And we're gone.